program, so much of what I have here is maybe fill in the blanks on that first part there, because I felt that all of us are a product of characteristics we inherited, we learned from life experiences, and from our faith. As the eldest in our family, I may have the only glimpse of Jim's earliest formative years. So we're going to start with his life before Volvo, and let me start at the beginning. Jim started out as a child in Navarre, Minnesota. I was just over 3 years old at his birth. His father, Sidney, was in the insurance business. His mother was a stay-at-home mom. I also add the disclaimer that at 79 years of age, my memory may be selective, but my intent is to honor my brother Jim. Navarre was a very small village west of Minneapolis on Lake Minnetonka, famous for Tonka toys. In today's world, this would be a very impoverished area of an old, small cottages. Perhaps it was, but we never knew we were poor. All our neighbors and friends were in the same position. We never went hungry. We thought it was normal to get one new pair of shoes a year at Easter. And we also thought it was normal that that new pair of shoes had to have cotton or paper stuffed in the toe because they had to be big enough to last for 2 years. The one we got new was for church and for school, and the one from last year was for play. So, the major buildings in town were the Calvary Memorial Community Church, the gas station, a grocery store, the laundry, a drugstore with a soda fountain, an appliance repair store, the Peterson's Plumbing Store, a small furniture store, and out of town by the lake there was a general store. Our small home was not on the water. We were more in the village. There was no well, so we used a cistern. For those of you who don't know what a cistern is, it's a big tank. And all the runoff water from the roof of the house runs down into the cistern. You save it there and pump it back out for use in showers, toilets, and washing dishes. It was not potable water, so you couldn't drink it. Let's see. Oh, I got ahead of myself. During the winter and dry periods, there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Olson that would deliver water to fill our cistern. It seemed like everybody in the town had a name that was Swedish. I don't know what that was all about. We had Petersons and Nordstroms and Olsons. Jim and I shared a radio flyer wagon used for everything. Our drinking water had to be hand pumped into a 10 or 12 gallon can. And we'd pull that can in our wagon to the gas station or the general store by the lake, where each had a free public pump for fresh drinking water. The pump was hand operated, so Jim and I took turns pumping the can until it was full. Once it was full, and if you know, water's what, about 10 pounds a gallon? It was pretty heavy. We would get together on the wagon, one in the front, one on the back, and we'd do the push-pull system to get the thing back up the hill to get it home. Once we got it home, we had another challenge. We had to get it out of the wagon and up to the house. So we had a long stick. We put it through the handle of the pail and over our shoulders, one on one side and one on the other, and we'd carry that can up to the house. Now that was a pretty good trick for Jim because he started that when he was about 4 years old. So it was quite a task. He was always a pretty tough boy. One of our other tasks was groceries. The small local store was in the center of the town. The manager stood behind a very long counter with all the racks of groceries behind him. You never went into those racks. They would bring it to you. So we would hand them the list that we had from our mom. He told us to come back in 20 or 30 minutes and he'd have everything bagged up for us. So he'd gather the items and bag them, and when he told us to go back in 20 or 30 minutes, that gave us just enough time to take our wagon